Today we're going to talk about the Fleck 2510 SXT valve. This valve is actually known to be the workhorse valve of the industry. It's been around for a long time. They've made some minor changes, but nothing too radical in the last 35 years that this valve has been around. What makes this valve so popular among dealers is that it has a steel backplate, as you can see by the picture here, that is supporting all the components, and it makes it very heavy duty. Most of your control valves out there, residential control valves, you have plastic backplating and brackets get tweaked in different directions and stuff like that, and they just don't last as long. The other thing that really makes this valve good is there is no gear movement. Everything is direct drive. If you notice here, this highlighted area, you basically have what we call a heavy-duty Merkel drive motor. That drive motor, if you noticed, has two cams on it. It has one on the right here, which is a blue cam, and then it also has one on the left, which is the black cam. The black cam pushes the piston in, which is called what we call the brine piston. That's what creates the suction to pull the brine out of the brine tank to recharge your resin bed so your water can be soft again. It also pushes in that piston in a different direction to refill the brine tank at the end of the regeneration process, so you have brine ready to go next time the system needs to regenerate. The piston on the right, the cam on the right pushes the piston in that operates the regeneration process of your backwash and rapid rinse and what have you not. So there is no gear movement, which is a real positive thing because gears do have a tendency of wearing out and the teeth end up breaking off. The other thing is if you're on your own private well with high iron content or maybe some sediment issues that are getting through your sediment filter, if you have one, on your standard piston setups with the gears, the sediment and heavy iron over the years builds up inside those piston assemblies, and like the 5600 Fleck model, for instance, one of the major problems that I've come across over the years with people with high iron in their water is the piston's always jamming up out at least once a year, and you have to go out there and clean it all up, and in most cases you have to replace the spacer and seal kits on it, and sometimes the pistons jam up completely and it ends up breaking off the gears that are, one of them's mounted into the actual control head itself, so you end up having to replace the whole top part of the control head because you just can't. I mean, it's broken off right there where it was molded, so there's nothing you can do about it. This particular valve is so strong with that motor in the direct drive that I've never seen one jam up before. I mean, that's how powerful they are. The other thing about the SXT valve, it is a digital metered on-demand valve. The SXT portion of it is right here, this box here. Sorry you can't see it very well, it's a dark picture. But this valve actually reads your water usage and only regenerates when it needs to. Instead of your typical old style valves that regenerate by days, they really waste a lot of water and they waste a lot of salt because they're regenerated in most cases when they don't need to. Like when you go on vacation, for instance, even if unless you unplug your time clock type valves, they'll regenerate even when you're gone. There's nobody to use the water. It doesn't make a lot of sense. This valve here, the digital meter, let's say we took this valve, we put it on a 32,000 grain capacity water softener, and hypothetically, let's say there's 4 people living in the home. National average water usage per day for household use only is 75 gallons per person per day. So that would be 300 gallons a day. Let's just say the water is 10 grains per gallon of hardness and there's no iron in the water. That means that you would take 300 gallons a day times 10 grains per gallon of hardness. That equals 3,000 grains of hardness being removed per day. If you take a 32,000 grain system and divide it by that 3,000 grains of hardness, that equals 10.67 days. Now, you want to back off a day for reserves, a full day, because if the meter hits 0 in the middle of the morning or middle of the day, you still have at least 300 gallons available to you until the system regenerates at a designated time, which is usually 2 a.m., but you can change that if you'd like. So we back that off to 9 days, and we take 9 and times it by 300 gallons per day being used. That means we would set the meter to regenerate after you've used 2,700 gallons of water. Now, based on that, that would be about every 9 days, like I said. Using the 8% cross-rake high-grade resin that our systems come with automatically as a default, in order to use this system as its full capacity as a 32,000 grade system, you would have to use 15 pounds of salt per regeneration. That's typical with most resins. With that said, if you take 31 days and you divide it by 9, that means you're going to regenerate about 3.44 times per month. You take that and times it by 15 pounds of salt, that means you're going to use approximately 51 pounds of salt per month. Salt generally runs about $5 plus tax per 50-pound bag in most areas. Now, on our shopping cart, as you're checking out, you will have a choice to upgrade that 8% high-grade resin to what we call an SST60 resin, which is made by Purolite. It's a hollow core resin, and we've been using it now for about 8 to 10 years, and it's worked very well for us. It will actually cut your salt usage and your water waste by 40%. So instead of using 51 pounds a month, you're cutting it down to 31 pounds a month, and you're saving 40% of your discharge because you can set your backwash for 5 minutes in most cases, as long as you don't have a lot of iron in your water, which you won't if you're on city water, and not all wells have a lot of iron in them anyway. You basically would be saving 31 pounds per month. Now, if you take that 19-pound savings and times it by 36 months, you have 684 pounds over 3 years. Divided by 50-pound bags, that would be 14 bags, times $5 a bag. This is $70 savings, plus tax, of course, on your salt purchases. The SST60 resin itself, I'm not sure offhand, but I think it's about $95 or something like that upgrade. So being this system under normal operating conditions will last, 15, 20 years. I even seen some out there as long as 30 years without really having too many problems as far as needing repairs and what have you not. The SST60 resin upgrade will definitely pay for itself over and over and over again. So in this particular application, it would be a really good investment. Well, that's it for the 2510 Fleck SXT digital meter control valve. My name is Craig Phillips. I'm the CEO for Quality Water Treatment, Inc. Our website is www.qualitywatertreatment.com. There's a lot of information on that site, as well as equipment to purchase at wholesale cost. So please give us a visit, and thank you for listening.